Hey Lamar, mix that shit.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chamira Elaine. For those of you who are new, for those of you who are not new, thank you all so much for coming back and supporting everything I do here on my channel. In today's video, I am going to be giving you all 10 tips on things you should do before actually starting a YouTube channel. I have mentioned in some of my other YouTube videos that I'm going to be continuing to kind of produce this sort of content, and I'm glad that you all have been enjoying it. Before we get into the video, make sure that you're subscribed to my channel, and while you're at it, make sure you hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time that I post. Let's just get into these tips. Before I actually start talking about the tips, I want to first say that I know that starting a YouTube channel can be very daunting and seem very difficult and confusing, especially when you're first starting out. It may also seem super easy and effortless when you're watching other YouTubers and just other videos in general. The YouTube community in 2020 is completely different from what it was 10 years ago. Now in 2020, people are literally giving you the blueprint on what you should do before and during your YouTube journey, which is why you're watching this video. So this video is all about setting yourself up for success before actually starting your YouTube channel here in 2020. The first tip that I have for you all is to create a plan, okay? Before you start your YouTube channel, actually create a plan. Included in this plan is you need to figure out what you want your channel to actually be about. This is important because it kind of helps you to brainstorm video ideas so that you aren't getting stuck and so that you are remaining consistent when it comes to uploading content. Once you know what you want your channel to be about, then you're able to create a unique channel name. Now, some people like myself just has their regular name, like my name is actually Chamira, and some people choose to have completely different channel names that is not at all directly related to their real name. I think it really just depends on what your channel is about. You also want to make sure that no one else has the same YouTube channel name as you, okay? This is just a general rule of thumb when it comes to branding yourself and just having a business. You want to make sure that the name that you have is just unique to you. It cannot be associated with anybody else but yourself. The second tip that I have for you all is to find your niche. I know that y'all hear this a lot, but it is extremely important. This goes back to having that plan. So you want to think about, what are you good at? What do you essentially want to share with others? What questions can you answer for people here on the YouTube platform? YouTube is such a saturated market. It is such a saturated place, as you all can probably see. So finding your niche can seem difficult at first, but again, you really want to look at your own personality and the things that you enjoy and then kind of piggyback off of that. But it can also be difficult to find your niche if you're someone like me who feels like they're good at multiple different things. Like, you just don't want to focus on one topic. You kind of want to hit a variety of topics. So I know that that can be difficult as well, but again, this goes back to creating a plan. Write everything down. You know, if you're good at 1, 2, and 3, how can you warp those into a really cool YouTube channel? Your niche will also affect your CPM, but we won't get into that because that is later on down the line when you've already created the channel and you are consistently uploading. Tip number 3 is create an intro, outro, and marketing for your channel. You may see videos where there's like a cute little video or intro before the actual video starts, and that's pretty much your intro. And then once you get to the end of the video, they have this end clip where it may have like a little picture for you to subscribe, and then other videos that you can watch associated to that same channel. This is important because it gives a quick glimpse into who you are and what your channel is about. So for someone who isn't familiar with you, once they see that small intro, then they know, okay, her name is this is what her channel is about, bam. And if I'm interested, I'm either going to continue watching the video or click off. If you create these things before you actually start your channel, it's just one less thing to worry about, which is why I included it as a tip in this video. I created my intro using Keynote, and I created my outro it's pretty much just a picture that I created on Canva. If you are not familiar with those platforms or how to use those sites, then I would highly suggest just doing your research and using YouTube as a search engine on how to create those things. And if you don't feel like you're technology savvy or feel like you have any creativities in those specific areas, you can always hire someone out to do them for you. So that's always an option as well. In my opinion, end screens are the most important. This is when you can add other videos for people to watch after they have gotten done watching the first one. And to me, they're super important because it gives your channel a second chance, okay? If people were not satisfied with the first video that they watched of yours, then you're pretty much giving them a second chance at liking you and your content. Also, if your channel blows up, those videos that's located on the end screen has a higher chance of being viewed again, which just increases the amount of views that those video has. So that's why it's extremely important to include additional videos at the end so that they are getting as much exposure as any other video on your channel. As far as marketing goes, you want to create you some social media overlays to include in your YouTube videos. Some people also have social media animations. Again, these are things that you can Google how to create or have someone create them for you, and you would just include it when you're editing your content. This brings me to the next tip. Learn how to edit. Learn how to edit. Okay, you got to learn how to edit. The only way you can upload, well, you can upload a video that's not edited, see how far that goes, but editing is probably the most important thing when it comes to having a YouTube channel, because you decide how you want to creatively portray the content that you film. If you think about it, like the way that people edit movies are the reason why we're so intrigued with it, you know. I currently utilize iMovie because I do have a Mac and I have an iPhone, so I've used the iMovie feature on my MacBook and my iPhone, and to me, I was able to teach myself. It was fairly simple, but that is the platform that I use. I know a lot of people use different editing apps and things like that, so I would definitely, again, do your research to figure out what those are, but me personally, I prefer iMovie. iMovie is completely free if you have a Mac or an iPhone. And then when you're starting to edit on iMovie, it's really just important to learn the basics. The basics include splitting clips, adjusting the volume, adding music, adding titles, adding transitions, and extremely basic overlays that you can find on YouTube or create yourself. I will be filming a video on how I edit in iMovie, so make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you are able to know when that video drops. The fifth tip that I have is you want to consider how you're gonna film your content and where you're gonna film your content. Choose a more chill, well-lit place to film your videos. This is very dependent on what your channel is about. So if you're more of a vlog channel, I mean, you're gonna be everywhere. You don't have to find like a sit down area, but if you are doing like sit down videos, make sure it's a spot that gets a lot of lighting. I would recommend for you to just use the equipment or anything that you have in your possession and make it work to the best of your ability. And if you have like an iPad or an iPhone, it's very easy to film on those if you don't have like a DSLR camera or don't want to invest in one. Make sure you check out the video I filmed on how I reached 1,000 subscribers, because I do talk about how to actually increase the quality on your iPhone when like you're shooting videos. So make sure that you check out that video to know a little bit more. If you don't currently have any filming equipment and you want to get some, go ahead, you feel me, but I would definitely like get it used, buy it from someone, and just go from there. But again, there is not a guaranteed return on investment, so you don't want to be spending thousands of dollars to start YouTube and you're not getting paid from it, you know. So those are just my suggestions. And then I know Amazon has like ring lights and things like that if you don't have a lot of natural lighting like I do, for like $30. So a very small amount of money to start off with. Tip number 6 is definitely to create an extensive list of video ideas. This is just so that when you actually do start your YouTube channel, you are staying consistent with uploading. In order for you to have a good sense of video ideas, This is going back to creating a plan and knowing what your channel is actually going to be about and the topics. So once you have that, then you want to just come up with as many video ideas as you possibly can. That way you'll never run out of content to actually film. The only way you'll truly grow on YouTube is if you remain consistent and ride the YouTube algorithm wave. YouTube loves consistency, okay? Loves it. So the more consistent that you are, the better you are at understanding the YouTube algorithm and having your content be pushed to more viewers. If you are still having difficulty with finding video ideas, YouTube, Pinterest, and Google are your best friends, okay? Tip number 7 is to not have any high expectations when you first start. I know that sounds so messed up, okay? But do not have any high expectations when you first start off with your YouTube channel. The reason that I say that is because there are millions of people already on the YouTube platform, and there are people every single day creating channels, uploading videos. It's very saturated, so you're going to be competing with a whole bunch of people, and you're not going to blow up overnight. It's just not going to happen. That's just not how YouTube operates. So this is why creators always say or always advise only start a channel if you are passionate about what you actually want to talk about and if it is a hobby of yours. Because if you're wanting to start a YouTube channel just based on the money, you are going to be highly disappointed in the results. And that's just that on that. Tip number 8 is to find a channel that is similar to yours and study them. I wish I would have done this when I first started my channel. That way I was able to see how well my own channel was doing as far as like comparing the two and just understanding and looking at those analytics. And the saying study your competition is extremely true, especially for YouTube. You want to look at that channel, you want to see what they're doing to keep their audience engaged in their content. What types of content are they creating? How are they filming their videos? How are they editing their videos? You want to look at all of that and try to tailor it to your channel, of course with your own spin and your own unique pizzazz to it, and then keep going and keep learning and keep getting better from there. Tip number 9 is definitely to research the YouTube algorithm. I don't think that this is something that should hold you back from actually starting your channel, and I don't think this is something that you necessarily need to know like in depth before starting, but it's something that you should keep at the forefront of your mind once the channel has already started and you're consistently uploading videos. Once you understand how like tags and the YouTube analytics work, then you're able to grow your channel at a very consistent rate that is satisfying to you and whatever goals that you have for your channel. And the last tip that I have for you all is to utilize the YouTube foundation. This foundation includes your end screen, your tags, your titles, your thumbnails, setting up your email address, and finding music that is free and non-copyright. Once you create your channel, I will highly suggest that you download the YouTube Studio app just so that you have access to your YouTube channel on the go. For no copyright music, I utilize Epidemic Sound, and I love it so much. You do pay a monthly fee, but I do think that it is worth it. You don't want to get into the habit of using music that is copyrighted, and this is just because if you ever become monetized, you are not able to earn any money from those videos. So just don't do it at all. Yeah, y'all, those 10 tips went fast, okay? So those are all of the tips I have for you to utilize before actually starting your YouTube channel here in 2020. Once you complete all 10 of these things, you will be set to start, okay, on a successful tip. And I hope that for whoever is watching this and you are starting your YouTube channel, that you hit the ground running and that you are very successful in everything that you do. I will be filming a video on how to start a YouTube channel here in 2020, so definitely check to make sure that you're subscribed to my channel so that you are notified when that video drops. Thank you all so much for tuning into this video. Give it a thumbs up if it's something that you enjoyed. Comment any other video ideas that you would like for me to touch on, and I'll definitely see you guys in my next video. Bye.